Audio check. Audio check. Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long time, but we are back for more racing action in Division 1 in F1 Total. We are now with Season 18 underway, a season that already started last week. I was actually not able to commentate the first round of the season. Apologies for that, but now I am back in the commentary box. We are here for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, the second round of this 18th season of the history of F1 Total. In a week that has pretty much been all about Vegas. We've had the Division 3 Vegas race, the Division 2 Vegas race. Now we had the Division 1 Vegas race and also the real Formula 1 Vegas race. So yeah, very much a Vegas week for pretty much everyone in here. Qualifying is underway, and well, yeah, this is my first introduction to this season for everyone watching the stream, and I'm just gonna go very quickly through the results of last week's race at Silverstone, the season opener, which was actually won by Alex the G in the Williams, who is not racing today, bummer, but he was the race winner last week. With currently the driver we are watching right now, VNC Felix 1 in the Haas for yet another season. Finishing in P2, we had Sully in P3, Sully as well, not racing. Actually, there's quite a few main drivers not being able to race today. As you can see, we pretty much have a grid of only 12 drivers. But it is still very interesting nonetheless. We have drivers of the caliber of Felix, Kart Racer, Peace Willie, who is actually only allowed to race in Division 1 this season. He has been banned for literally being too good in Division 2. So now he's going to have to put all of his effort into this division. And he had a great run in the last races of Season 17 in Division 1, so he can definitely keep up the form. Then we have drivers that we've known for a very long time. Bazooka Joe, Shanmul, Kuko, Edwin, Phantom Fox, Aussie Drive. And we have a few, both new faces and also returning faces. We have Jeram, a driver that is definitely somewhat known in the esports scene. He's okay, he's a reserve for Alpine tonight. Then we have Killaswag, who is actually a new main driver for no, wait, never mind. It's a reserve driver, sorry. Reserving for Sauber tonight. As we have how do I call him? Calverley in McLaren, who is actually a main driver for McLaren in this season. So I would say these three are the names I'm not used to see. Sorry for clearing up my throat very often. But yeah, other than that, it's a known grid, I would say. Again, not really a lot of drivers since we are only 12, but I think if you watch the Division 3 and Division 2 Vegas races, both of them, they've been absolute bangers. Division 3 maybe less, but Division 2 was an absolute banger of a race in Las Vegas just 3 days ago on Wednesday. If you didn't catch up on that, I highly recommend you do and take your time to watch it. I can definitely say it's absolutely worth it. Absolute carnage, absolute chaos, and so many unexpected positions and unexpected incidents events, battles, whatever you want. Absolutely nothing you would expect to see normally. So again, I will highly recommend you go and watch the Division 2 Vegas race we just had. But now we are here for just the last straw of this Vegas action for F1 Total at least, because tomorrow we will have to wake up extremely early to watch the real life Formula 1 Grand Prix. Me living in Italy, I'm gonna have to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch a race that's across the other side of the ocean. That's gonna be on Saturday at like 8 p.m. and for Italy that's like 5 a.m. So very good timing, I would say. But yeah, I think that's enough yapping for now. We can focus on the qualifying because we are already starting to see some important times on the leaderboard. Car Chaser is now leading with a 1 minute and 30.666, which, interestingly enough, it is still not the fastest time of, across both divisions, because actually Kuko got pole position in the Division 2 race. Worth mentioning, he got a huge, and I mean huge, slipstream from his teammate Sean Moole across the entire Las Vegas Boulevard, the Las Vegas Strip, whatever you call it. I mean, the massive DRS straight we are watching right now. He got a massive tow on this straight and also on this straight just before the finish line after the chicane. Just sucked in behind his teammate, got a huge gain in speed and got pole with a 30.5, I believe it was somewhere like 30.5 something. So Car Chaser is still off of that, but I think it's worth mentioning. Well, I don't know if he got a slipstream, but I'm gonna assume he didn't since it's only his first run. But at the moment, we are looking at the Red Bull 1-2, and I think Red Bull is very much the favorite for this Constructors' Championship. Car Chaser and PCO 2 extremely, and I mean extremely performing drivers right now in their form. Car Chaser, he just won a championship in a Java championship in dominant fashion, winning his 6th title in his career. Very slightly missed out on the Constructors' Championship with McLaren. He actually lost it to Haas. But still, I mean, we all know Car Chaser is in absolutely great form, and he is now the driver with the most championships in the history of F1 Total. And he won the season. And PC Will as well is in absolutely electrifying, brilliant, outstanding form at the moment. Just already the fact that he's been kicked out of Division 2. I mean, it was a solid Division 2 contender for wins and so many good results. And I think, if I'm not wrong, PC Willie might actually still be the second driver with most wins in Division 2. But now that record stays to Sean and won't be beaten. Yeah, but the absolutely amazing form he had in the last half of the season, maybe more specifically the last third of last season, just absolutely destroying everyone, me included. So yeah, the admins have decided he's been banned from Division 2 just because of how much he has outgrown it pace-wise and racecraft-wise, and just he grew so much as a driver. Now he has the chance to show himself amongst the very best of the league. And obviously right now he is sitting in qualifying just behind the most successful driver in Division 1 history, Car Chaser. So yeah, I think everything speaks for itself. I mean, everything I just said is being backed out by irrefutable evidence of how good of a driver he is very recently. So yeah, I think we'll have a very solid season if he keeps performing like that. But in the meanwhile, we're watching Felix, who is finishing his second run of this session. Let's see if he improves. He does, and he jumps up to P2, just 27 thousandths behind his main rival, and he splits the two Red Bulls apart. So PC Willie drops down to third, Jerome drops down to fourth. I will watch out for Jerome as well. I mean, he has not raced very often around here. Like, many drivers know him a little bit in the esports scene. Then I would say me and Edwin specifically, or maybe a little bit more, maybe I more than Edwin. know Jerem from my history at GFRL. He was like back then at the beginning of the league in season 2, probably 1, but like 2 and 3. I mean, at the start, I've known him there, and then yeah, all of a sudden he reached a point in his career where, I mean, at least I didn't see him race very, very often, and he rarely makes his comebacks in F1 Total, and he's doing that just now for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and he's currently sitting in P4 behind PC Willie. Don't know what to say about Killers, because, well, he's a new driver. I'm seeing him for the first time here, but he definitely looks to have pace. He's in P5 right now, and he set a lap that like it's very, very similar to the one I set in Division 2, and he's probably going to improve that as he now goes around the first corners of this track. A street track that has a little bit of a weird history. It was recently introduced in 2023 for the first time. I remember me personally absolutely hating it when it first came out. I remember it was an absolute pain to drive on F1 23, but it definitely did get better over the course of the games. Oh, that's a massive lockup going into the chicane. But in the meanwhile, Nagio and Morgan has joined. Two very, very strong contenders have now joined the lobby, so now the grid jumps up to 14 drivers, but Nagio and Morgan, those names are absolutely not some names you would expect to see at the back of the field. I think this fight for the race win just got a lot more interesting and a lot more open, but they have a lot less time to qualify. We have Nagio, the infamous Monaco merchant, who had a brilliant season in the very few reserve outings he had last season. I think he pretty much won. I think he like reserved for 4 races last season and won 3. He won 3 out of those 4 races. Oh, in the meanwhile, Sean with a great lap. He jumps up into P5 just behind Jerem. Absolutely amazing stuff. But I think Killersberg is gonna get the P5 back. I think he's improving by a tenth and a half. 2 tenths actually, jumps up to P5. Oh, exact same lap time as Jerem. Would you look at that? Exactly the same lap time between Jerem and Killswag. 1:30.879. Jerem has said it before, so he is now ahead. But wow, I mean, wow. But there we go. Niall and Morgan have now joined. Nagio in the V-Cab and Morgan in the Alpine. I was about to say, Nagio, a very known Monaco merchant, and whenever he reserves in Division 1, he always pulls, I would say, extremely good performances. Then we have Morgan, who is a bit of a hit or miss, I would say. I mean, he's definitely fast. I think he did get some pole positions, and he definitely was in the fight for quite a few race wins actually. But I mean, either like retires in the pit lane whenever he makes a mistake, or just doesn't show good enough racecraft to actually finalize a good result. So that's kind of how he built himself the reputation of such a hero-miss driver in Division 1. But I guess we will see if maybe he has worked on that, if he has improved on that side, and if he can be just a little bit more competitive. And again, I'm focusing a lot on actually on just talking, but not really following the qualifying. But I think I'm gonna do it just now. We are now watching Kuko, who is about to end Sector 2 with a 55.716, improving by a little bit more than a tenth. Currently sitting in P7, that improvement is not going to be enough to jump up to P6 to overtake at least Sean Moore, and I think P6 might be the best result he could aim for tonight. Now DRS Open on the Las Vegas Boulevard, reaching a top speed of 345 kilometers per hour. Setups go absolutely insane on this track. I mean, it's 0-0. Oh, Kuko goes into the pits, actually. I'm gonna say, setups are pretty much Monza level. 0-0 wings, reaching absolutely shattering top speeds at the end of the Las Vegas Strip. How do I call it? Las Vegas Boulevard or... Okay, so it's either Las Vegas Boulevard or the Strip. Now we're watching Phantom Fox He has joined the Greedy Haas for Season 18 alongside Felix. He's improving by 4/10. That's a very big improvement, but maybe still not enough to beat Kuko. Maybe if he finds more time in the third sector, exiting the chicane, could be. Now DRS open, deploying some battery, and as well reaching a top speed of 345 kph at the end of the strip. Takes a lot of curb before the chicane, and it's very important to get a good exit, good traction, and to have still some battery to deploy at the end of the straight. Let's see, does he jump Kuko? He does not. He improves by almost half a second, but still not enough to jump ahead of Kuko. He splits the two Mercedes apart. Phantom Fox is now currently sitting in P8 and will start no higher than P8 because it does not have any more time to set another lap. We still have Nagio and Morgan with no lap time in this session, but we have all the main contenders out on track. Kartracer and Phoenix separated by 27 thousandths of a second. We stay on board with Kartracer. So let's see, let's now commentate a lap around Las Vegas. The rundown to turn 1 is very short, braking just as the curb on the right hand side starts into turn 1, which surely transitions into turn 2, 3 and 4. This very long right hander actually ends in turn 4. DRS enabled now into the Cowell lane straight, and just after we exit turn 5, coming right up, we will finish sector 1. Now Kartracer brakes at the 100-meter bone, downshifts aggressively into third, and misses the apex by a mile, and actually hits the wall on the exit. He's not improving, he's down by a tenth and a half. Now let's see, at the sphere chicane, the MSG sphere, into turn 7, into 8, and into the left-hander of 9. Get good exit, absolutely vital. Deploying some battery once again. Now flat out into turn 10, and into turn 11, the left-hand side, the left-hand corner. Turn 11, very tricky, and braking just as the track slips away from you, and get absolutely good traction out of the one of the longest straight of the entire calendar. Kartracer is not improving, even if he sets a purple sector 2. Now onto the Las Vegas Boulevard, deploying some battery, then DRS will be enabled very shortly. Let's see, what top speed does he reach? Actually, we will jump on board with Felix, because maybe let's see if he improves. He improves significantly, almost half a second. Felix takes provisional pole position with a 1:30.243, gaps Kartracer by almost half a second, who is not improving at all. Let's see, P2WD has invalidated, so the two Red Bulls are currently locked in P2 and P3. We are now on board with Jerem. I did not see if he had any improvement. Let's see, the reserve driver for Alpine, but he's not deploying. He's even pushing, he's on non-ERS. Hiddenberg as well on non-ERS. Well, Jerem does not improve. Well, figure he didn't have any batteries to deploy. I mean, he just wasn't deploying. Neither is Hiddenberg. I don't think they're pushing, so they will qualify with the same lap time, but Jerem will stay ahead. Morgan has cut the line in P6. We are watching Sean, who has invalidated actually. Nagio hasn't set it up, so he will start at the back of the grid. Kuko did not get exactly optimal chicane. He's gonna still try and improve, but I don't think he has much hope. Yeah, definitely not. So that's it. Qualifying is done, and VNC Phoenix 1 is your pole sitter in Las Vegas for season 18, and with a huge, and I mean huge gap to Kartracer. Now I assume Felix, well, I didn't see that, but I think I did catch the two Haas's being very close, so I suspect Felix might have got a slightly cheeky slipstream from his teammate Phantom Fox. I think it definitely played a part, because a 1:30.2, 3/10 faster than Kuko's pole position time in Division 2. So Felix has the privilege to set the fastest lap across all of the divisions in Las Vegas, and will start on pole with his main rival Kartracer just in P2. These two, the world could collapse and you will still find Felix and Kartracer just separated by one position. The never-ending rivalry. PCWD with a very solid P3, and then Jerem in P4. Kida Swag, American driver actually, that's his home race, in P5. Morgan in P6, Sean in P7, Kuku in P8, Phantom Fox in P9, Aussie Dry Running off the top 10, then we have in order Edwin, Calvin Bazooka Joe, and Nagio at the back of the grid. So these are the positions for the Las Vegas Grand Prix in Division 1. Weather is dry, and well, it's not really a surprise anymore that it's dry, because I mean, Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the desert, and I do think the game has like a 0% chance, or like at most a 1% chance of having rain in Las Vegas, at least in the game. But I mean, if you watched the real Formula One qualifying in Las Vegas, it was actually like full wet conditions. The track was absolutely flooding with water. Drivers even used the full wets, and I mean, they used the full wets after such a long time. It was such a long time since the last time we've seen actually Formula One cars going around the track with a full wet tire, because the FIA will just red flag the session and wait for the track to get less slippier and the rain to get less intense. But actually, they did set Q1 and Q2 with the full wets, which was quite a sight to see, I have to say. But anyway, I still think the game is pretty much a guaranteed dry race and dry qualifying. So yeah, it's gonna be a very, very easy one stop. Interestingly enough, the compounds are from C3 to C5, but tire wear is really not that high. And everyone is starting on mediums. Wow. Everyone is going for a medium hard. So the question is, what lap will they choose to pit? Because, well, I mean, at least me personally, I had the chance to push on both compounds, both the medium and the hard in Division 2. But you still need to watch out the wear. Well, not really the wear, but like the grip on the rear tire, because so many slow corners where you need to get good traction. It's very easy to get those very micro wheel spin moments that just add wear to your rear tires. So maybe you have to manage those, but like in percentage wise, it's extremely difficult to get a puncture but just driving too long. So it's a very easy one stop, and everyone is on the grid. And for the Las Vegas Grand Prix in Division 1, it's lights out and away we go. And Felix does look to get away well. Actually, no, Catracer gets away very well, and a lot better than Felix. He has the inside line for turn 1, and he will take the lead immediately after turn 1. And Felix now is between the two Red Bulls, and there's some yellow flags in the back. It is Kuko involved in an incident at the first corner. Now PC Willy chasing the slipstream of Felix just ahead of him, but he will stay behind for now. Makes no sense to rush and move this early, but Killswag and Aussie Dry don't think like that, because they're already battling for positions. And now Nagio, look at that, Nagio starting from dead last. He's already in P7 chasing Aussie Dry. He has already overtaken half the field. What a start for the French driver. Absolutely insane stuff. And I think he wants to lose as little time as possible in all this traffic. He wants to chase the top of the pack, the front of the pack. Oh, that's Killswag going slightly deep in the braking zone. I think he did tap the wall. But if he did, or even if he didn't get exactly good exit. And Aussie Dry might have a better run. And this straight right here, this straight has so much potential for so many DRS trains and slipstream games. Nagio is now overtaking Aussie Dry, so is now up into P6, chasing Killswag. So after the first lap of the race, Catracer is in the lead, Felix in P2 and PCWD in P3. Jerome stays in P4, Killswag stays in P5, Nagio with a great start, already up into P6. Edwin has pitted, and Edwin is retiring after only one lap into the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Edwin chooses to retire in the pit lane. No idea what happened to him, but it must have definitely been something not great if he chose to retire after just one lap. Maybe he got some massive damage. But either way, he did not want to continue, and we are already down to 13 drivers. So now the real race has begun, because we are, well, DRS has been enabled, and now this is going to be the start of a very, very big and possibly never-ending DRS train. It could potentially be a DRS train that... Oh, Katrese goes very deep into the braking zone, locking up the front left tire and gets a very poor exit. Felix is almost able to pull alongside. PC Willy again a lot of time as well. Now, who has DRS? Did Felix overtake Katracer before the detection point? Let's see. No, both Red Bulls have DRS. So now Felix will be vulnerable from PC Willy and Katracer. And look at this. They almost go 4 wide at the end of the straight. Who's going to be ahead? It's going to be PC Willy in the middle of this chaos. In between Katracer and Felix, who now takes the lead. Oh, Jerome has a massive slide, but he still pulls ahead of Felix. Does it look like Felix still trying to battle? Jerome has the inside line. Oh, look at Nagio and Kiliasberg absolutely going at it. 3 wide into the first corner. Nagio trying to look for a gap now. Oh, Kiliasberg with a massive slide, and Nagio makes contact with him, and Kiliasberg is into the wall, possibly with some damage, but now he's down in P12, actually P13, last, losing so many places. And there we go, it's already carnage after only 2 laps and a half. Look at this. But it's a Red Bull 1-2 with PC Willy leading with an absolutely brilliant move. He was going 3 wide at the end of the straight. PC Willy found himself sandwiched between Katracer and Felix, but still found the good line and the good reference for the braking to be ahead of everyone at the chicane. And now the 2 Red Bull teammates have grown apart of 5 tenths. And I think Felix did really compromise his position with overtaking Katracer before the DRS detection point, because he did not have DRS on the straight. Aussie Drive, Bazooka Joe, Phantom Fox fighting for position as well. And it's 2 Red Bull swap. Katracer is now in the lead. And actually, the DRS train has stopped to Aussie Drive, so now it's only top 5 in within a second of each other. Now Katracer sets the fastest lap of the session. Felix fighting, or is he fighting? Is actually Nile who's the one fighting. He did overtake Nile, well, Nile overtook Jerome actually, and I missed that move, but it must have been a dive into turn 1. And Felix does not have DRS. What happened to Felix? He lost so much time. There's yellow flags potentially for the McLaren of Calvary. I'm not sure. What has happened to Felix? He has lost about half a second, and now he goes very deep in the braking zone for the chicane and lost even more time. Lost a few tenths. Felix is under pressure. He's already making mistakes, and he's already giving Red Bull the chance to get away with a 1-2. And this is definitely not what he wants. And there's gonna be absolutely nothing he can do against Nile. Or is there actually, because he lets Nile pass, and that's a smart move. He will now have DRS. And there we go, so he can defend P3 more effectively. Or can he actually? Because he stays behind. Even with the DRS games, Felix stays behind. And by staying behind, by slowing down to let Nile pass, he still lost even more tenths from the 2 Red Bulls ahead. So did Felix already accept for himself that P3 is going to be his potentially best result? It could be. It could be that way, but the race is very, very far from over. Safety cars could definitely play a huge role. And also undercut. The undercuts are surprisingly efficient around Las Vegas. And I mean, maybe you wouldn't expect it, but actually the hards, well, yeah, they are cold when you get out of the pit lane, but they actually can be warmed up quite quickly, so you don't lose time from getting the tires up to temp. And just the the grip advantage you have out of low corners is just so insane that the undercut, even for one lap, is very efficient. So maybe that could be one of Felix's strategies to try and catch up to the two Red Bulls. But obviously he cannot do it too early, otherwise he would have to push the hards a little bit too much to the end for too many laps. Red Bulls swap positions once again. They are not fighting, they are just swapping positions if they get the chance, normally with DRS. So no fighting between the two at the moment. Oh, but look at this. Niall and Felix are gaining massively on both of them. And I think Felix is using Niall to get closer to PC Wheel and Cut Chaser, because I think he knows, or at least he feels like Niall is faster than him, so he uses it ahead of him so that he doesn't lose time by being ahead. And well, he uses him for the DRS, so that's how he's getting close to the Red Bull. Sean is damaged. Sean is missing the left, the front left end plate on his front wing. Don't know what happened there. And now he keeps gaining and gaining and gaining. I think he might be the fastest man on track right now. Does he have the fastest lap? He does not. Cut Chaser actually has it. The two Red Bulls swap once again, and meanwhile Phantom Fox is fighting for position with Sean. And he still has the DRS to try and get closer to Aussie Dry. Felix and Niall are battling. Felix overtook Niall actually with the DRS. So now he's up into P3. Ooh, that's a massive slide from Morgan. How he saved that, that's actually insane. That was an insane save. And Sean goes into the pits, and I assume that's to fix his front wing. So does Jerem. Does Jerem have damage as well? No! He's going for an extremely aggressive... Oh, that's a medium. Jerem, what are you doing? Why are you doing a two-stop? Why did you pick for another medium, Jerem? This is like one of the easiest tracks to get a one-stop. Why are you doing a two-stop? And I think Jerem just absolutely botched a great result in here. There's no way a two-stop. Even if you're the fastest driver in the world, you're not recovering from a two-stop around Las Vegas. Unless there's maybe a safety car. Oh, and Morgan, there we go. 10-second penalty for corner cutting. How did you even do that? Unless you just like took the chicane flat, how do you get a 10-second penalty for corner cutting? Like, even if you lock up and go off the track and cut the chicane involuntarily, Morgan just keeps locking up everywhere. The 10-second penalty, like, come on. Phantom Fox in Aussie Dry fighting for position, and Phantom Fox playing it smart. He got the DRS before he got past Aussie Dry, so now he's up into P5, just behind his team. Well, just behind the 6 seconds between the two of them. But Aussie Dry and Bazooka Joe are actually fighting. Phantom squirming on the exit, but he's still ahead, and Aussie Dry is ahead of Bazooka Joe. Well, Jeremy is overtaking currently for P10 on the fresher tires, but there's really no need to go for a two-stop with another set of mediums. Aussie, Jerry Morgan impeding. And Aussie with the hards. So Aussie, he's the one going for a very aggressive undercut, pushing those mediums to the end very early. And Morgan now, he serves the penalty and also fixes his wing. And I mean, that's what I meant when describing Morgan. He's got the pace, but just not able to finalize it. And Niall is not really gaining anymore on the two Red Bulls. Another 2.5 seconds apart. Could it have been the battling with Felix? Maybe, but we don't know. And Felix goes deep. Whoa. Misses the apex. but thankfully also misses the wall. But that mistake right there, he cost him DRS. Felix is not within 1 second of Nagio, and this is very bad news if you're in Felix's shoes. Because if you feel like you're not able to gain on Nagio because it's just gonna gap you and chase the Red Bulls, and now you don't have a way anymore to be faster than the guys at the front because he doesn't have DRS, he's in trouble. And that's why he chose to go into the pits immediately. Felix going for a very aggressive undercut. Now that he lost DRS, this is his best chance to try and gain position on Kachis and Pisuili. Because really, the DRS train plays such a massive role in this race that tire advantage is really not that useful. Track position would be very much useful. So if now Felix jumps the 2 Red Bulls and he stays in the lead, and Kachis and Pisuili will have fresher hearts at the end of the race, or like in the second stint, in the second half of the race, even if they do have the advantage, just the DRS train just really makes the advantage pointless. I mean, it's all straight. There's not many corners. I mean, even in the corners where you actually do gain time, you just, it's not really useful. So track position is definitely something you will want to prioritize, and that's why Felix has chose to pit so early, because now he has the chance to virtually overtake Kachis and Pisuili. So let's see. What do the Red Bulls do? Kachis is in, Pisuili stays out. So Kachracer obviously wants to defend himself from the undercut, but Pisuili might be sacrificed for this move. I think he's very much under threat from Felix. Let's see. Card is actually in pit lane. Felix is very close, but Kachracer is still ahead. Almost 4 seconds behind Kachracer. Oh, and Morgan. I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but that was predictable for Morgan, to be honest. I mean, I think if you look at the predictions, the prediction sheet we had before the season started, I think many drivers in the server put Morgan as the driver with the most DNFs. And I mean, looking at this race, you will kind of understand why. Sorry, Morgan, don't want to be rude, but just speaking, just saying what I see. So with the undercut, Felix was actually able to jump Nile, but now he's gonna come back with the DRS. Very easily so. Pisuili is now in. Or is he? Did he make a mistake coming into the pit lane? He was sideways. Did he lock the rears? He could have. An unexpected mistake from Pisuili. He's brought wing. He's got a broken front wing. What has happened to Pisuili? Did he just lock the brakes and smash the wall in the pit lane entry? I don't know what happened, but if that's what happened, it's very unexpected, I would say. And now he's gonna have a much tougher, much steeper mountain to climb. Rejoining the race in P7. Or, well, P6, Jeremy's on a 2-stop, so... And in the meanwhile, we have another DNF from Cavalry who retires in the pit lane. Jeremy is now pitted for the second time in this race with the absolutely most useless second pit stop of the race, I have to say. And he joins back the track just ahead of Sean Kuku, but now he's in P8 and just, I mean, that tire advantage is really not going to get him anywhere. But without DRS, there's just no points to have pressure on tires. Now PC really making a move on Aussie Dry before the Las Vegas Boulevard. And that's actually smart because PC Willie still has DRS from Phantom Fox. But interestingly enough, Felix is now within less than a second of Nile. Oh, well, it's not anymore. 1.2, 1.1, and now just the fastest lap, so I mean, you can definitely tell he's pushing. Let's actually look at the batteries, like the storage percentages, because Felix has around 25, Nile has 48. I'm actually surprised. Like Nile, by pushing more, he has, even if despite pushing more, he has more battery. And Felix is trying to save it now, but he still has a lot less than Nile. This really is all over the back of Phantom Fox. There we go, that's PC Willie up into P4 right now, and with the damage he had to fix in the pit lane, he definitely compromised the very good results he could have pulled off today. 8 seconds, I mean, as fast as he is, I don't think he's gonna catch them. I mean, without the arrest, there's just really not that much hope, to be honest. So the race looks to have settled in right now. Actually, the only driver to have DRS on his other head is Bazooka Joe, with around 7/10 from Aussie Dry. That's Bazooka down the inside. The Ferrari goes for the move, and actually he gets cut back by Ossijay on the exit. Bazooka must have gone so deep on the brakes that Ossijay was able to switch back and get a better exit out of the chicane, so they are still battling for P6. Oh, look at this, going side by side. Oh, there's a massive crash, and they're both into the wall. Bazooka and Ossijay out of the race. That's a massive crash in the middle of the straight, and only a virtual safety car. It's a red flag! It's a red flag! The race has been thrown completely upside down. A massive crash between Bazooka Joe and Aussie Dry deploys the red flag, and now everything is up into... what was I gonna say? Everything is back on the table. An absolutely massive high-speed crash between Bazooka Joe and Aussie Drive brings out the red flag here in Las Vegas on the start finish line straight. And I'm not sure how that happened. I'm guessing Bazooka Joe cut Aussie Dry on his left, and that's what caused them to both go into the wall. And I think this has been the first time in Division 1 history that we see a red flag being deployed. And on lap 17, the race restarts. It is Car Chaser in the lead, Nagio in P2. For the second time in Las Vegas, it slides out and away we go. And some drivers are going on hards, some on the mediums. Nagio immediately jumps Car Chaser off the start, and Felix is now alongside PC Willy. Felix has the inside line, and he's already overtaking Red Bull. But actually, PC Willy cuts back with the switchback line, and he takes P3. Now Phantom Fox is just behind his teammate, but Felix is absolutely not giving up. He's using the slipstream and the energy. He goes down the inside of PC Willy, but he doesn't get a good accident. He still stays behind. The battling already brewing between these two, and they almost make contact. Felix is absolutely sniffing PC Willy's gearbox. And we are down to just 9 drivers here in Las Vegas. Kuko as well, going for Momo. Kira as well. 10-second penalty for gaining 1 place and cutting. Oh, Sean locking the rear tires under braking. Almost put his car into the wall. But now it's Nile choosing to go on the medium compound for the last 8 laps of this Las Vegas Grand Prix. And he stays in the lead. And for 8 laps, the medium is very reasonable. I'm guessing everyone else didn't have another set of mediums, because with 8 laps to go, the medium is most definitely the best tire choice to go to the end. So I think Nile has a much higher chance to win this race right now. He's gonna have the faster tire for the majority of these last laps. We have a DRS train from P1 to P6, from Nagio to Jerome. But only the top 4 is on fresh tires. Everyone else is on used tires for some reason. Oh, and look at this. Car Chaser is immediately out of DRS from Nagio. Well, or easy, because if he gets a good exit and deploys some battery, he could get into the 1 second gap. Let's see. 1.1 exit in turn 12. He does not have it. He's out. PC Willy has it on his teammate, but Car Chaser does not. I think Nile might just have this win in the bag. He chose the balanced tire allocation, which gives you 2 mediums. I think everyone else chose the harder allocation, which gives you 2 hards. And I think at the end of the day, this was the winning choice. I don't think anyone is stopping Nile right now. Oh, now it's Jeremy Phantom Fox into this DRS train in the top 6. Look at this! Despite the old tires, they are in this train. Well, not from P1 to P6, from P2 to P6. Yeah, Nagio is just absolutely gapping everyone on those mediums. Oh, but Pizzi Willy goes for a move on his teammate, and actually so does Felix. Catches and drops down to 4th. Very vulnerable to the DRS from his competitors just behind. Pizzi Willy jumps into P2, Felix jumps in P3. And I do think, well, if we count Jeremy Phantom Fox out because of the old tires, I think we have a three-way fight for the last 2 places on the podium. PC Willy, Felix and Catchacer, unless some more shenanigans happen, I think it's a 3-way fight for the last 2 places on the podium. One of them is gonna drop out of the podium. Well, I mean, in all of this, Jerome still has DRS actually, so it might be an even bigger fight. But Catchacer is extremely close to Felix. They both have DRS, but I think the extra slipstream will play a role. Maybe Catchacer deploys a little bit more energy, but I don't think he does because he still stayed behind. So unless some more unexpected stuff happens, Nagio could just ride into the sunset, or I mean, well, into the very past sunset, because it's pretty much midnight. But no, I think actually Vegas race is at, what was it? I said it before, 8 p.m. So yeah, it's already a very past sunset, but not midnight. But whatever, doesn't matter because we are watching a fight for P2 and P3. One of these drivers is gonna drop down to 4th. Phantom has lost DRS to Joram. And Catchacer is deploying a lot of battery, trying to get a run on even his teammate as well as Felix. So look at this, Catchacer goes deep on the brakes, goes very late, and they go side by side through the chicane. Who's gonna be ahead? They kind of make contact, they just bang wheels, but Catchacer stays ahead with a very nice move on the inside just at the end of the Las Vegas Boulevard straight. Now he's ahead of Felix and just behind his teammate. Both of them were so late on the brakes, but they still managed to make the corner nicely and without taking each other out, which is the most important thing at the end of the day. PC Willy has a chance to run away from his teammate, but does he want to do that? Oh, they make contact, Catchacer and Felix. Felix goes into the back of Catchacer, breaking for the chicane. What has happened there? Felix is damaged, he's lost the end plate. The left end plate missing on Felix's front wing. All of a sudden, Jerem is up into P4. What happened to Felix? Was it a mistake on the braking? Running into the back of Catchacer, breaking for the chicane. Did he brake too late? I think that might be what just happened. And now the chances for a podium for Felix are now massively lower than what they were before. He's gonna have to bring a damaged car to the finish line. I think he can still hope in overtaking Jerem, but now the Red Bulls seem to be out of reach with that mistake. And I think he's gonna bash himself up for that. Really not what he wanted. So who would have thought that the only driver who chose to go, what was I saying? The only driver who chose to go for a two-stop is now actually in a fight for the podium. The red flag absolutely saved him from such a, well, I would say awful strategy choice. And before you know it, Jerram is in P4 fighting for P3. Like, this is the kind of shenanigans that are happening in Vegas across all three divisions. Absolutely insane stuff. Felix is out of DRS in all of this. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, huh? And I have some big questions for Killer Swag. Why are you bringing the mediums to 19 laps? How are you bringing the mediums to 19 laps? I mean, I did say Tyware isn't that high, but 20 laps on those mediums? Still gonna be 21? Are you really avoiding puncher rage? I mean, we had Pop Dog in Division 2 who won the race on track. He got penalized, so he did lose the win. But on track, he brought the hards from lap 3 to the end, so for 22 laps, and he was able to make it. But can the mediums go for that long? I actually won't be surprised if I see a puncher from Killer Swag. Maybe at the final lap or something. And I think the fight is not over between the two Red Bulls. Now I think it's a dilemma whether they wanna do some team orders, but I don't think they should, because there's Jerram just right behind them. So I think they are just battling like normally. Like they are fighting for positions. They both want to P2, but obviously they don't want to risk it, because one, they could make a mistake and like go into each other, and two, there's Jerram ready to jump them if they like go super slow because of team orders or whatever. So I think they are battling for position. Catchers and PCWD fighting for P2, but I think it's almost assured that both Red Bull drivers will be on the podium, and I think it's definitely assured that Nagio will be the winner of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. And that race win was definitely decided from the choice to have two mediums, choosing to have two mediums instead of two hards, because otherwise he still could have challenged. But if he had two hards and he chose the hards after the red flag, it was going to be a fight between Niall and the rest of the field. But the mediums just gave him an advantage that was absolutely impossible for the other drivers to catch up. Now we will watch for the final time the Las Vegas Boulevard with DRS. Let's see if we see any more position swap. When we go to Nagio in a moment, don't think we will see any more overtakes. And Nagio with a perfect strategic choice. From last in P14, he crosses the line to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix in Division 1. Car Tracer starting from P2 will stay in P2, PCWD in P3 will stay in P3. Jerram on a strategy that looked absolutely god-awful, got absolutely blessed by the red flag, and he still manages to finish in P4 and ahead of Felix. Like, I don't think even himself expected an outcome like that. Absolutely insane. I'm gonna repeat it just for fun. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's been an absolute banger of a race across all three divisions. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, huh? Now we just need a banger in the real Formula 1 race, which is gonna be in like 8 hours from now. Well, 7 hours to be exact. So it could have been a 1-2 for Red Bull, but the medium choice for Nile was just impossible at all to fight against. And I am communicating with all in the services. That is actually great stuff. I'm gonna have to rewind the stream to read you the results. Hold on for literally 1 second. I can go back to the stream. So there we go. It is Nagio winning the race. I have no idea what my connection is doing right now, but I will finish the stream in a moment. So it's Nagio winning the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Catchers in P2, PC within P3. Jerem against all odds in P4. Felix making mistakes under pressure. That's a costly P5 for him. Fox with a solid result in P6. I think Kuko jumped Killer's Rock with penalties, so that's Kuko in P7. Actually, Killer's Rock got dropped down to 9th with a penalty, so Kuko in 7th, Sean in 8th. And Killer's Rock with a penalty drops down to 9th, so that's 2 points for the Sauber driver. Bazooka Joe, despite crashing and causing the red flag, he still finishes in P10, scoring 1 point. So, yeah, there we go. This has been an absolute banger across all 3 divisions. The Las Vegas Grand Prix, absolutely amazing stuff for all 3 of the races. So yeah, plenty of action, plenty of unpredictable stuff that happened, and I'm very glad to have commentated that one. So thank you as well for watching. Even if just 1, 2, or 3 races, thank you for tuning in to the YouTube channel of F1 Total, trying to stream every single race. Well, I mean, I think Division 3 and Division 2 are very much covered in the streams. Division 1 is a little bit more unpredictable because it depends purely on myself, and I know I'm not always available. But Division 2 and 3 are covered for that. They have plenty of commentators. So we make sure you don't miss the action. I will try my best to bring you as much action as possible streaming Division 1. So again, thank you for watching. I would suggest everyone gets some rest starting from now if you want to wake up early to watch the real Las Vegas Grand Prix in 7.5 hours from now. So yeah, again, thank you for watching, and we will wait for you on the YouTube channel once again for next week. We are going to start with round 3 of season 18, and that's going to be the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. So Tuesdays for Division 3, Wednesdays for Division 2, and Saturdays for Division 1 at the same time as usual. So tune in next week for some more action in F1 Total.